still don't know how to make videos because I feel like awkward. I'm trying to narrow this video down as much as possible to gender, but I can't promise with me like wandering off. I hope I can edit this video perhaps to save you guys from that happening if somebody watches this. So for those who don't know or believe that it was a joke back then or it was just a phase, I am still transgender. I am still transgender. I'm still in the mindset that I kinda don't feel aligned with my current biological sex. Basically, I want to transition to the other one because yes, there are originally two biological genders or sexes, which is a woman and a man. Biologically, yes, I kind of believe that, and it is what it is. I have this big pimple and I'm shining. Okay, so how should I start? So last year of October, start of October, I started to realize something that actually made me feel better as soon as I was actually finally able to make the change. So basically, when I thought I was transgender or possibly a man, always have been I suppose, I started expressing myself more as the way I always sneakily wanted. Is that like the excuse for me just wanting to not shave my legs or my armpits or just be lazy and hang out? Like, I mean, women can do that too, right? Well, basically, I try to envision myself as a woman doing it, and it just doesn't work. So it just doesn't feel right. It never really did. But now that I'm aware of it, things really changed in my mindset. So you could have said that I feel a little bit more happier. But of course, because of my situation outside of gender, I'm still kind of stuck with all of this. And if you wonder what's all in the background, I just did some type of, well, it is laundry, but it is like hand done laundry, and I don't have a dryer here, and yes, there's no washing machine here, so I have to use bucket. My room is a mess, but it always is a mess, to be honest. But I don't really show that on video, do I? Yeah. So I don't record at all, basically, or because I just don't like my voice. I don't like looking at my own face, especially not on camera. I just look worse than I actually look when I look at myself in the mirror, which is like, really? And I'm like, yeah, I prefer to see all the acne than the swollen looking face. Even on a video, it just either worsens my dysmorphia. I think I have body dysmorphia. I don't know how. I never thought that I was beautiful anyway. So, but it also of course triggers my gender dysphoria because I sound feminine and I look feminine, I suppose, sometimes to some people because of this, you know. And I work out, and I mean, I have some cheekbone, but this fat just doesn't. Everything else is fine, I suppose, but no. Okay, so from October I started the gym, start working out, kind of consistently. I think 3 times a week, sort of. So let's say Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then I skip Saturday and Sunday to get back to starting on Monday. You know what I mean? So it's like workout, rest day, workout, rest day, workout, rest day, workout. and I maintained that still. It is almost a year now, and I'm kind of starting to see results. Okay, but you know, there's the chest area, and I have a binder. I started binding like as well at the same time I started at the gym, and I realized that my binder is not performing as well as it before. I'm gonna be bluntly honest. You can say ew, but I don't wash it that much. First of all, I don't want to ruin it. Second of all, I don't smell that badly, to be honest. A sweat smell happens after a while, but usually I don't have too much problems physically with the binder. As soon as I notice it though, I start washing it. But I noticed that my hand, the way I wash it, even if it's the recommended way, it still just seems to wear out my binder. It was expensive. I can't afford a new one, and some of y'all will kind of relate if you're also trans man and you would watch this. That could be a theory actually, because what if it also is because I'm working out and my chest is expanding, like the muscle beneath it, and it's like pushing my fat stuff, tissue area up front, which could make sense. But usually when I see fitness women, there are women usually, sometimes there are trans women that basically their boobs, they just seem to vanish within the muscle area. You know what I mean? Well, I still try to figure out to layer my clothes whenever I can, to try and position it as best as possible. I still have no idea where my nipples should go still. I mean, I know anatomy, I just suck at, you know, it is weird when you have to replace them, because it's like you're touching your area and you're like, okay. But anyway, from October I started signing up for the gender clinic. Well, it's like a gender clinic or area within a general university, like a big hospital, very important hospital, and it's like a section in there for gender related stuff. And I started in February, like with my therapist, which is kind of actually quite fast, because I signed up in October and started in February, which is actually like 4 to 5ish months, I think. So that's good. I see her every month, sometimes in 2 months, depending. Now I see her a little bit less because I have actually finally got my consultation to my endocrinologist, you know, those kind of people. And I hope everything goes well. I have today had an appointment with my gender therapist, but also with somebody who can manage your finances. Like, they help you calculate what is affordable and what is not. So I got notes from her because I asked for it. She also made like her own lists for me, so now I am also assigned to her, I think. She also works in the gender clinic, and that really is helpful because now I know I can afford Cystatin, because Nibiru is Jesus. That like, no, nobody ever used that, but just because it's like expensive. I mean, you only have to inject every so many weeks because it's that effective. But I think because it's, I mean, it is effective, but what if it's so effective that you get a lot of side effects, or you feel really weird because you suddenly have so much testosterone in your body? That's really, I mean, everybody wants to have it fast, but to be honest, that's not the way to go. What else? My clothes, my style is more masculine, I suppose. But though clothes are not really gendered, but there's still, no matter if you have the freedom, there's still still an obvious difference between women and guys, especially in my country. If you gave them all the freedom, they would maybe sometimes, like women would sometimes wear hoodies and loose pants and like cut their hair short, but that's basically a few elements. Like, if they would have all the freedom, they could go ham. They could just look like a guy, or like tomboyish or whatever, androgynous. But a lot of women and guys still decide to choose or be assigned to the typical norms, as you call. Like, I am actually conforming to the typical norm of wearing boys' clothes, I suppose. Like, the boys section of the store, I take clothes out of there, I suppose. That's how I should explain it. Before I transitioned, I suppose, I think I can consider this transitioning, because I also changed my name legally and I changed my gender legally all at once. I had to wait like in total of 6 months for all of that. But what was I going to say again? Oh god. Well, anyway, I still haven't decided on starting school again for my degree or anything. I really have to. Also jobs and stuff. Why would I say this? It's because it is partially related to my gender dysphoria, I suppose. So I have my general problematic life, but the gender dysphoria could be a major element of my suffering or my distractions. So I'm not sure how much, but I think it depends on the time. As soon as I do take testosterone and all that stuff, and depending on how I feel, it should be at least good. But if I feel amazing and I suddenly start to change, there are always chances that, I mean, it's not a wonder. It's not a magic product that makes you. Everybody knows that by now, that it doesn't cure depression or anything, but it could be something that does change your mindset even more. My mindset has shifted as soon as I came out as trans, or my mind was like, oh god, there's something possible in life, like something that I didn't know I could do, maybe, living some dream. But as soon as you can go farther and hope that it does, it's like, that is eventually magic, but like realistic magic, because it's within the possibilities. So, but gender dysphoria sucks. I remember the first time the first few weeks or months. What is that? I think it's either a spider or some cobweb. Oh god, it moves. It's a cobweb, sort of. I have a lot of those right now in my room, in the corners. I can't reach it. So, yeah. But yeah, gender dysphoria, I think it's a real thing. Of course it is a real thing, but for me, I think it's possible, because if everything was just body dysmorphia, people would have already figured that out at the gender clinic, because I have a psychologist or a therapist that guides me. Before I assigned to gender clinic, I had like a diagnosis from a known guy in Belgium that also does gender related therapy, but he is more pricey and he's like private, and he then gives the information to your gender clinic if you then sign in. So I don't think he was lying, because he even had a conversation with my gender therapist, who's also very known, who also is connected to one of the more famous and important guys of the gender clinic called Shun. And he's been in the news and all stuff. So I don't think they're lying. I don't think they're like trying to persuade me to pay stuff and then they're like, hey, it's your hormones. No, they give me like, I had to wait actually a year, because I started February, and you could say before I went there it would count as me transitioning, but that's not always proof. You could say that, but they can't witness you being like actually transitioning before you were, you know what I mean? So from February to now, it's 7 months, almost 7-8 months. I start in December. That's almost a year. It is not a year, but it's almost a year, which is enough. I have admitted to that I have autism. I have admitted that I have attachment disorder, and anything else I don't know, which is normal. You can't know everything, you can't just test everything because boundaries and money, and but they're just careful with me. That's what I wanted trying to say. They're just careful with me. They try to make me, they give me the chance to choose, but at the same time they are the doctors, and of course they're the ones to decide whether you go or stay. Should I stay? That song is stuck in my head ever since the Stranger Things. Did I just spoil something? Oops. Oopsies. It's just a nice song. It's just a very nice song. Just look it up. I don't even know what the title is, so I didn't spoil anything. So yeah. Also, what happened is I met my real father again. Like that's what you don't know, I think, but I have not seen my real dad for years, and I eventually had to decide on what should I do, because I couldn't just break contact with him anyway, because I had something like an arrangement, like alimony, that I got from him, because we have a system in Belgium, especially dads or fathers, or they pay that like €100 each month for the child, especially when they still study. But we had to arrange together to end it. And as that went on, I had to think in my head, okay, maybe I should just talk to him, and I think he accepts me, because he called me by my right name again today, and he keeps pronouns mild. He always calls you mate sometimes. Before, now and then he could give you like a feminine nickname, like princess. That's the thing he sometimes does. But he is impulsive with his words, like I am, but it's not that with any wrong intentions, because my dad never had anything against me, like never. But he wasn't the easiest one. So now that I met him again, I actually went to his apartment a few times. I can kind of try to assess things, or how do you call it, like look at things again and see if I can have a different mindset about him. Because when things happen in the past which have a big impact on you, kind of stays for you for a long time, unless you can finally manage to find something to prove your fucked up mind otherwise. If I always think of somebody like they're bad, and one day this person actually proves that they're not bad, only then my mind actually is like, okay, it's fine. But it could be my autism, it could be something that is just me, but I'm very, very stuck in a certain mindset for a while, and sometimes it needs like this shift, like my transition for instance, to kind of wake up and realize that, oh, there are other things in life or to people, but it is difficult. But he's still my father, and my mother still needs to know, because I think I told her before, and I did, but it wasn't with the best situation. It was because somebody called her and told her instead of me, because long story short, my mother was panicking a little bit, but she wasn't angry at me or anything, but she's just forgetful. She has something that influences her brain to forget stuff. So basically, she has a routine, and if you break that routine, there's special things from the past. There's things that she just like never forgets from the past, but I don't know how you call it in English, but I just know that she's forgetful and she's confused and stressed out a lot, and if I tell her something that impactful without a preparation or guiding her into it, I'm going to lose my mom. Whether that's mentally, that she loses it mentally, or she's like, she doesn't want to see me anymore, I don't know. My mom is actually more important than my father, because she brought me on the world, she cared for me, even when for a moment she couldn't do that, but that wasn't her fault. Partially maybe, but like I said, the past is the past, and I can forgive people, but I can't forget. So But I try to figure that out again, and I just hope that my mom is not gonna flip out on me, because she's my mom. I don't live at home anymore, but she's my mom. I think that's basically the video. I don't know what else to say. I just know that I will get hate still. And sometimes I can take it, sometimes I can't. It really depends on my mood. It depends on my day. It's just, I prefer not having hate on my, especially not on my channel right now, because I have like barely any views or subscribers. But I think that's why the haters would do it, because they're like, oh, look at this channel, it's worthless, look at it, guys. I mean, I know the tricks from that haters use, because sometimes when I am a hater, no, actually, to be honest, I've never been a hater, because the haters actually have like nothing to do with their lives. They like would bully people, or they would like shout at people, or they would like send mean text messages, or like report people or block people for fun, and I never did that, so good on me, I suppose. But anyway, art school is going to start soon again for me. This is like an academy. It's like different from the school that I'm speaking of, with the degree and with like teachers and students that are like high school or college. No, I mean like an academy as in, it's more of a free flowing school where you have like, you don't need school books or anything. And I just hope that my same old teacher will be there, and some students that I know. Well, actually, yeah, they're called students, but they're like adults. You know, there are people that are like 60 years old, there are people from 18 years old, there are people for all ages from 18 years, so 18 plus. And you can have a chat with each other sometimes. You can have events there. You can basically just relax most of the time. I suck at relaxing just because I like talking to people. It's not because I don't like silence, but sometimes I come there because I like the company more than drawing. But listen, that's literally. But my art teacher already knows I'm transgender. My dad knows by now. My thing is, my mother doesn't know it, and my landlord, the guy owning this place. He's not a threat at all if I say it, but for some reason I just don't want to say it to him. Oops. But okay, this is. I'm gonna wrap up the video. I just hope I don't need to listen to my voice too much, because, well, editing does at least, because that makes me delete my videos. I have attempted recording a video meanwhile, it just never got through. But this was for your own sake, because my videos really dwell off very far, and it's like confusing, and it gets too much. It's not an art video that I make, but I am making a new sketchbook, or drawing a new sketchbook. Well, actually I have shown a few drawings of it, but like only 2 or 3, and now I'm finishing off. It's still kind of pencil, it's nothing too special. I'm dying. Goodbye.